This is the story of Tanabata, adapted by Shin Kitara, illustrated by Yukihiko Mitani. Imagine we are standing high up in the sky on the banks of a river of stars called the Milky Way. Oxen are grazing on the luscious grass. They are being tended by a young herdsman, Hikoboshi, whose job it is to see that they eat well. Not a cloud can be seen in the blue sky. What is that I hear? The herdsman turned to listen. He could hear a lovely, gentle sound carried by the wind somewhere far, far away. I wonder what it is. It was the weaver princess, Orihime, weaving her loom on the other side of the Milky Way. Dear me, I feel tired. As she stopped to rest, she gave a sigh. Suddenly, she heard a very faint sound in the distance. There must be a herdsman somewhere looking after his oxen. Just then, the heavenly ruler appeared before her. What a beautiful piece of cloth you have woven. Why, thank you. I worked very hard on it. Well, you did a very fine job. Ahem. Actually, now that you finished weaving this beautiful cloth, there is something I wanted to discuss with you. What could that be? Well, now that you've become such an excellent weaver, I think you are ready to marry. Would you like to become the bride of Hikoboshi, the herdsman who lives on the opposite side of the Milky Way? On the opposite side of the bank? The herdsman? Then the oxen I heard mooing must be his. The weaver princess blushed and nodded her head shyly. And so it came to pass that Hikoboshi, the herdsman, and Orihime, the weaver princess, were married. Young wife, isn't this pretty? I made a chain of wildflowers for you. Oh, how lovely! The young couple spent day after day together happily and did not even notice the passing of time. They enjoyed themselves so much that the loom the weaver princess had brought with her when she got married became covered with dust. When the heavenly ruler saw this, he became very angry. This is a disgrace! Even the hard-working herdsman is neglecting his job. I must put a stop to this. Immediately, the heavenly ruler called the young couple before him. I'm glad to see that you two are so happy together, but you can't go on neglecting your work. It makes me sad to do this, but each of you must return to your own side of the Milky Way and live alone. Heavenly ruler, punish me in any other way you'd like, but please don't separate me from my young bride. And I cannot bear to live without my dear husband. Hikoboshi, the herdsman, and Orihime, the weaver princess, clung to each other and wept. Seeing as you love each other so much, I will make a special exception and allow you to meet once a year on the 7th day of the 7th month, as long as you work hard for the rest of the year. So the weaver princess returned to the east bank of the Milky Way and began to work every day on her loom. And on the west bank, the herdsman returned to tending his oxen. How I wish the 7th day of the 7th month would come soon. The herdsman and the weaver princess thought only of when they would meet again. Finally, the long-awaited day arrived, but when the weaver princess got to the banks of the river in order to go across, what do you think she saw? The river was swelled from many days of rain, and the waters of the Milky Way rushed violently between the two banks. What should I do? The waters have risen so high that I'll never be able to cross the river in a boat. Husband! Dear husband! The weaver princess stood on the banks of the Milky Way and called out to Hikoboshi, the herdsman, with all her might. Just then, she heard the fluttering of wings, and a flock of magpies suddenly flew over to her. Why, who are you? We are the magpies, and we have come here to help you, weaver princess. Help me, you say? But how? Please just wait a minute. Saying this, the magpies flew up into the sky, and spreading their wings in a straight line, formed a long bridge across to the other side of the Milky Way. Now I understand. Thank you, dear magpies. The weaver princess hurried across to the opposite bank where the herdsman lived. We're so happy for you, weaver princess, and you too, herdsman. Thank you very, very much. Hikoboshi, the herdsman, and Orihime, the weaver princess, who had not seen each other for 1 year, embraced for joy. Now, dear wife, let us enjoy this very special Tanabata Day together. Looking down at them from high in the sky above, the heavenly ruler broke into a smile. In summer, on a clear night, you can faintly see the stars of the Milky Way, but once a year, on the 7th day of the 7th month, if you look carefully, on one side you will see a bright blue star, and on the other a dim yellow star. One is Orihime, the weaver princess, and the other is Hikoboshi, the herdsman. This is a tale that was told long, long ago in China. The end.